Hello, hello, everybody. You are tuning in to the Empowerment Training Show.
Norman, Tufue, welcome to the show. What's up?
Yeah, hey brother. Good to be here. Privilege and honor to be here. Yeah,
thanks for being with us today. Also, I just wanted to ask to start with perhaps a little bit more about yourself. If you could share possibly where you come from and what exactly that you're doing at the moment.
Yep, thanks, Us. So first and foremost, all glory and praise to God for bringing us to this day, and on this Sunday, beautiful day. Everything that we do and have, we owe it all to Him. So praise God. So as Mani introduced before, my name is Norman Tufue. 32 years old, happily married to my beautiful wife, Tilau Tufue. We have 3 beautiful kids, John, Lichon, and 11, 8 and 6 years old. I'm from Samoa, born and raised and proud. Moved to New Zealand in 2008 after meeting my wife back at home. So made the move over here, got married, started our family. And yeah, living happily in the beautiful suburb of Stokes Valley, Lower Hutt. And currently working for Resene Paints Limited. Been there for over 12 years now, or coming up to 12 years. So yeah, I'm working as a production supervisor at the moment. So yeah, thanks, Us. That's a quick summary of this person. So yeah.
Very cool, very cool. And I was just wondering what you've been up to with regards to lockdown and what lockdown has actually been, or what that's actually brought out of you, and how you're actually looking at the lockdown situation at the moment.
Yeah, we did lockdown Resene for, I think, for the good first 2 weeks or 3 or 2.5 weeks, and then we got go back in to start again. Providing some essential service or paint product for Mitre 10. And yeah, so but prior to that, during the lockdown, the beginning, it was definitely a very good eye opener for me myself in terms of family time. If anything, and I think pretty much all around the world, most families, probably the closest and the longest they've parents and children have been together for a full day, a whole day. So for me, it was just owning that opportunity, and that opened up a lot of opened up a lot of things for me in terms of my relationship with my wife, as a father, as a husband, and with my kids as well. It's been awesome. It's those opportunities that when we get stuck into or caught up with the business of this life that we are all in, work and other commitments as well outside families, we don't get the opportunity. Or when we are in our families, we sort of forget or don't really take full, chances of opportunities or what's been very important. We tend to miss out on that, especially spending time with the kids. Yes, we come home, we spend time with them, but at the end of the day, we're all tired from work or exhausted and just a little bit of time. But yeah, during the lockdown, it was also made just the whole day. Kids eating my cooking and stuff like that. It was quite it's quite new to them as well, because their mum's always cooking and stuff. So having me at home, taking turn in the kitchen, it really made them like, wow, Dad, didn't see this part of you. So yeah, they enjoyed it.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, I'm really happy that you've taken the chance to make the most of that opportunity. Also, that's one of the things that I really love about you is your perspective. No matter what's going on, whether it's good or bad, you've managed to actually get a really good perspective on things and a really good handle on things. So, but in saying that, also, there is a lot of fear out there. there is a lot of uncertainty that people are experiencing. And I'm curious, I've asked this to a number of people now, but is there anything that you are fearful? Is there anything that you're fearful of in this given point in time?
To me personally, I think I share the same worry and the feeling that everybody else is feeling at the moment, and that is just uncertainty. I've talked to some of my workmates from different businesses, and they are saying the same thing as well. Just like my work, not knowing where we're heading, what the next 2-3 weeks or months is going to bring. And it's very sort of daunting for everybody, and I think the fear for everyone is losing their jobs, and that's the biggest fear for me. If I do lose my job, if I Resene do go down to that road, just not being able to provide for my family, because and I think I speak for a lot of men and fathers out there, as a man or as a father, your role is to work and provide for your family. So not being able to do that is probably my fear that I feel at the moment, or feeling at the moment. So yeah.
Right. And you're saying that there's a lot of uncertainty that others may be experiencing as well, and it's very similar. They're fearing for the loss of their jobs, and obviously trying to provide for their family. How are you dealing with that fear? How are you processing it so that you can keep your positive mind frame that I know that you have? How do you do that?
So first of all, for me, is prayer. Praying, man. Yeah. I'm a true believer of prayer, man. Like, praying very hard. And, when you're in that moment, asking God what your fears are and what your worries are. And then you go from there. But for me, on a daily basis or each day, it's taking each day as it comes, one step at a time, appreciating the opportunity right in front of you. Sometimes, yeah, we can look forward or look ahead in the future, but sometimes you've got to be careful as well, looking too far ahead and ignoring what's around you, because I think that's where you get a bit overwhelmed, and you might put yourself under pressure. But the key is to enjoy this moment, enjoy every day as you wake up, have a little prayer, thank God that you are well and alive and you've woken up, and using the opportunities that you can control, and that opportunity is, if you've got a job at the moment, make use of it. Work every day like it's your last day. If you were the kind of person that you always second guess yourself, or should I go to work today or not, this is the time, man. Just work, because you never know, tomorrow you might not have a job, or tomorrow that commitment or that motivation might just save you a job. The boss look at you and think, oh, this guy's really stepped it up. So yeah, so taking each day as it comes and make the most of that opportunity that's right in front of you. Appreciating the people around you, your family. For me, I can't talk enough about family, because that's very important to me growing up and where I am now. So spending time with your kids, your wife, touching base with your folks, like myself, my parents are still back in Samoa. So I touch base with them every week through social media on Messenger. So wherever your loved ones are and your families, just, abuse the social media platform that we got and just reach out to them. And you never know, by sharing and by connecting with those family members or friends, it might just give you a new idea or a new perspective, and it might just suit your situation at the moment. So yeah, it's appreciating the moment also, where you are currently at this point.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, like you said, going back to, control what you can control. I mean, what we have in front of us is all that we can control. So again, I know that's something that we've had many discussions about in the past, and we're right in the thick of it now. So really, really appreciate that also. What I also wanted to ask as well is that, as you have also mentioned, is around the opportunity. I'm just wanting to know, is there an opportunity from your perspective, that you are actually really excited about coming out of this period? What would that be for you?
For me, definitely what I learned during the lockdown. One of the things that my wife and kids started doing. I mean, we are Christian people and we believe in the Lord. But one of the things that that was really amazing, and probably the biggest highlight of our lockdown period, is our daily prayers as a family. We started that. My daughter actually, brought that up that idea. She's 8 years old, Litron, and she said to her mom on that Tuesday, I think after the schools were all locked down, she goes, "Oh, I want to do prayers. I want to organize a prayer," and then we kick it off as a family thing every day. And we rotated organizing and taking turns doing prayers. And I mean, now for the last 6-8 weeks or 4 weeks, my 6-year-old, he knows how to organize the prayer, pick his own reading in the Bible, and doing prayers. And that's something that we really look forward to as a family. So during lockdown, we did it in the morning after breakfast, or some sort of in the afternoon if we wake up late. But now with me back at work and them going back to school and that from tomorrow, we are doing it at night time. So, but opportunities, yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. I mean, this is, as they say, also one door closes and the others open up if you look hard enough.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I can only speak from personal experiences, and it's you pray on something and you do your part, and God will do the rest, and that's where opportunities come in, and that's where the motivation come in. You see it, you want it, and then you work hard to it, and you pray for it, and it happens.
Amen to that, brother. And it's funny you say about your family coming together and wanting to do prayers at night. It's something that we both share. As you know, my wife, my kids as well. We made that decision as well to come together and have a bit of a games evening every night, and also have a bit of a prayer evening as well. And I guess for us, it's just another way of connecting, and we're connecting on probably a different level than we have, before, COVID-19, before this lockdown. But something that we feel that, and you obviously alluded to it, something that we feel will probably need to continue. So thanks for sharing that. Also appreciate that.
Absolutely, also.
Yeah. Given your work and your profession, also, firstly, if we can actually just touch on that, and just your journey through your career, because I think it's really worth mentioning. I don't want to spoil anything there, but it's really worth mentioning how far you've actually come and where you started and where you actually are now. And then following that, given that experience and all the challenges and success that you've been through during that time, I'm just wondering if you can throw in there some advice that you might have for some young people, in particular, or people in general, that are going through some challenging times, and they're experiencing some uncertainty as well. Are you able to talk to that for us as well, please, also?
Yeah, bro. Thanks for that, also. So coming from Samoa, or growing up back at home, it's as all the Samoan born people, whoever's gonna watch this video, it's not easy. It's challenging. There's definitely different tiers of lifestyle. I would say our family. We weren't. I'm not saying that we were poor, but my parents, hats off to them, man, for bringing us all up, 6 of us. I think the most important thing that I took out from growing up was it's not just my parents as well, but at this point I'm just speaking about my life. So it's just the hardworking parents that there is, and they'll find that a lot in a lot of Samoan families. It's just parents, even though the hardship and the difficulties, but they just want the best education for their kids. So for us, even though we weren't didn't have much money in that, but mum and dad they were eager to put us through to Catholic schools. You know, if you talk to any Samoans, Catholic schools over there are very expensive in terms of school fees, uniforms, and all that stuff. So, and they did it. They made it. You know, I went to Mary's Brothers School in Muriwai Pia, and also went to St. Joseph's College in Alafua. So it was really very, you know, it was always going to stick to me wherever I go, you know, for the spirit and what Catholic schools, especially the Mary's Brothers spirit in that. So, and so after college, I made it to uni, but parents obviously couldn't afford the school fees and that. So I said to them, you know, it's all right. I'll find me a job. And my first job back at home was a storeman, and you know, at a famous Lucky Food Town. And yeah, it was cool. I started at 9 a.m. and you know, from where I lived to the shop or to the supermarket, it's not that far. So I walk, and as I walk to school, you know, I see my friends, you know, on the way to uni and that. But you know, it didn't affect me. To me personally, you know, I was, and that's one of the key moments and the key things for me growing up and how I live my life is just being myself. Excuse me. And it's just like I said to you the other day, I think we caught up, is, you know, just be who you are, be true to yourself. That's key, man. You know, despite what you see in your friends or other people. And so yeah, so going back to the story, so you know, they go to uni and I go to work, and after being a storeman, and then I worked at a famous Aggie Grace Hotel as a shipping clerk. And when I was doing storeman at Lucky Food Town, you know, you demand the trucks that comes in with the supplies, shelf filler, you know, at night time or during the day, and then I stand at where the meat thing, selling the meats and stuff at night time. And then one day it hit me. I was like, man, my parents, and no disrespect to all the storemen out there, man, but, you know, I'm thinking, man, I went to a good school, you know, I finished year 13 and that, you know, I should be doing an office job, you know, good gloves, with a pen in my pocket. and I did. So I went to the owner of the store, and I said, I think this is not me, you know, I want to move on. So I remember her words were like, oh, that's really good, but I hope you're not a quitter. You know, you're not just, you know, I was like, definitely not. I think I know where I have to go. And then only a few weeks or a couple of weeks, I landed me a job at Aggie Grace Hotel as a shipping clerk. And yeah, man, it was good. Good experience. Worked my way up as well. Started off as an office boy. And yeah, did shipping clearance, customs papers and all of that. And yeah, met my wife and then made the move over here in 2008. So 2008, walked into Resene's gates as a temp through Queen Workforce. My brother-in-law, Ati Olive, is good friends of you, Money. He got me the job, but prior to that, you know, I was temping around, you know, new to New Zealand. I came in 2008 February to visit and met my wife's family, and you know, and then Ati's wedding was that time, so it was a huge heaps of people to meet and stuff. So I went back home and then came in June for good, and yeah, so I've been temping around. And then Adi got me the job into Resene at the factory, and I started as a temp, and a few weeks in there, and then they had a role going in the test spot department for a team leader or a leading hand, and I put my hand up. It worked out, so I got the job. A few years later in there, I moved into the other factory, working there as a leading hand as well, and a 2IC, the manufacturing production supervisor that was there. And then complete that for a year and a bit, and then became the production supervisor in 2013. And yeah, since then I'm still here and still there doing that role, playing that role. So yeah,
still there, still going strong.
Still going strong, brother.
Yeah, that's the one. So how many staff do you have now? How many staff are you responsible for there?
So we got the big batch, small batch, 2 tinter plants, test spot department, and the Rocco shop and the GTF. So all those little factories, and I've got 6 leading hands and about, I would say, with the temps, over 50 staff members. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's amazing. And before we move on to a little bit more about the advice, I'm curious to know what you feel your I mean, there'll be a lot of traits that you would have obviously shown to be selected and given some of these key roles in a company like Resene. But what would be like your top 2 traits that you think that you had that were able to get you those kind of roles and really help you get to where you are today?
Well, first one for me, I would say communication.
Okay.
I think, I'm proud to say that, I think I was lucky enough. I had a good English, when moving to New Zealand, and that was key, being able to communicate and sounding and voicing my, what I'm feeling and where I want to get to. And that's important because as you and I know, it's a foreign country where we are, it's a second language is Samoan language and English is the first language. So everything has to be spoken in English. The second one, I would say, just being myself and being a nice guy, I hope, I don't think, I think I have too many enemies out there, but yeah, I'm just a happy fella. Hey, some people call me the soft giant, or I'm just happy. I'm just myself, and I think I'm very contagious to people. I guess anyone I meet or met, and my wife always says, oh, you just find it easy to blend in or to fit in.
Yeah.
To wherever I go, and I think those are the 2 I would say that sort of landed me those roles and where I am.
Yeah, I definitely agree with your wife there. You're somebody that you're very easy to be able to talk to and very approachable. It's certainly that trait goes a long way, especially when you're dealing with 50 people.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, big time. Also, the advice to give to people who are out there experiencing some uncertainty at the moment and they're going through a bit of struggle at the moment, trying to make some sense out of the situation. From your point of view, what is it that you would like to share with them and offer them at this point in time?
Yeah. First of all, for me, will be praying. You definitely got to pray. Begin your day with just with a little gratitude and being grateful for living and being alive, especially during these tough times. Second one is just appreciating the opportunities that is right in front of you, appreciating the stuff that you can control and putting in your absolutely 110%. Don't worry about tomorrow, don't worry about yesterday, just what's in front of you. Just go hard and give it your best intention in everything that you do. And I would say as well, for a lot of the things that's happening at the moment, it is tough times, or any tough times that you go through in life at the time, or if you make mistakes at the time, it's probably mistakes, but when you grow up and you learn from it, you look back at it and you call it, well, I call it life lessons. They're no longer mistakes. At the time there were mistakes, but as you grew up, and trust me, 5 years time or 10 years time, you look back at it and you're like, wow, during that COVID-19 pandemic, I was really down, and if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here where I am now. So yeah, it's using that opportunity, appreciating the what's in front of you and what you can control. Don't worry about what you can't control is out of your control. Don't waste all your energy about that, because you can't do anything about it. But focus on what you can control, and the things that you can control is, if you've got a job, just be, use it and appreciate it, and work at your 100%. Be yourself. You know, it's important to be yourself. Don't get sidetracked, and surround yourself with the right people on and off work. That's key, man.
Yeah.
That's the key, because a lot of what we do and how we survive or live is the influence from people around you. So if your friends that you're being friends with don't appreciate or don't like what something good that you're doing, don't worry about it. You know, that means if you continue and they're still your friends, they're meant to be your friends. But if they fall off, hey, those are the people that shouldn't be in your life, and the right people will come and just stick to you. And that's how I've always look at it, you know, in life or whatever you do. Yeah, man, and surround yourself. You know, appreciate your family. Family's important. Nobody can do anything by themselves. You know, like me. You know, there are whole heaps of different people. Started from my family, my parents, and then came here. My wife's family, my in-laws, you know, my brothers and all that. They all play a part in getting me to where I am now. So appreciating all those people around you, man, and you know, and just don't be a dick. Just be nice, you know. Just be a nice, genuine human being,
Yeah.
you know, and appreciating and be nice to people. And that's the, you know, a lot of people say it, you know, that doesn't come with a cost, man. It's free. Just be nice. Be, you know, inspirational to people, you know, and just like Uncle Rock says, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good little reminder, that one, because yeah, I mean, people don't want to be around people that are not nice and pretty nasty in terms of how they behave and their personality. So so yeah, absolutely. And in terms of surrounding yourself with the right people, so as you say, it's a huge one, you know, because you draw so much energy without even knowing it, you know, from the people that are around you. So if they're negative, then the chances are, you know, sooner or later, you're probably going to be negative as well.
And something as well, so I've learned, and I've said it to some of my mates and friends, just be careful with, there are two, to me, there are two kinds of advice.
Yeah.
There will be one, the other kind of advice will sound like it's something that's good for you, but it's obviously manipulating and trying to drag you away from something good that you're trying to get to. It sounded right, but you will know, and a smart person will always know, oh, I don't think so. It could come from someone that you're really close to, but you know, maybe they don't like it, but they don't show, but they're trying to advise you and take you away from that. And then there is genuine advice, where it's absolutely pure and honest advice. And those are the advice that you got to take on.
Yeah, thanks for making that point, because that's crucial. Absolutely crucial. Be careful about the advice that you actually take on. Very, very true. Also, that's pretty much us for this evening. But before we wrap things up, I just wanted to ask, is there any last words that you want to actually share with us before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I just want to say again, you know, thanks for the opportunity also, and you know, very proud, big fan of what you're all about and what you're doing, and wish nothing but the best and, you know, good things for you. And you always have my support also. So anytime, you know, just hit me up if you want some support and whatever, any way I can help. It's a privilege and honor to be doing this interview with you. And I just want to say to people out there, man, there will always be light at the end of the tunnel, no matter what dark place you are or where you at. And which remind me, at the moment I'm participating in the mental illness challenge, the push-up challenge.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that's very important in life. You know, if you're down or if you're going through tough times, and that there will always be a tomorrow, man. And behind every tough times and difficulties, it's always a successful story and a joyful ending. So yeah, just keep going, fighting your own battles, and yeah, just stay on the right path. And again, that's where, with the mental illness thing, you know, hats off to everyone that overcome that. But I think that's where that advice comes in, surrounding yourself with the right people, because those are the people that are going to help you come out of that darkness and that tough times.
Yeah, absolutely. Also big time. And I just want to thank you as well for taking the time to actually do this. And sharing your story with us. I know that you know, you're well respected in your communities. You're somebody that I respect immensely, and your words will go a long way. And going back to the mental illness side, you're doing some great work there on your push-up challenge, and it's just about bringing awareness to it. Unfortunately, it's almost like the silent killer, you know, the silent suffering. And it's okay to speak up, and we've spoken about that as well in some previous interviews, and you've obviously mentioned it this evening as well. So in saying that, I just want to wish you all the best also. I want to wish you all the best with any opportunities that come your way. I know that you're a man of God, and you're also a man of your family. You're a true servant to what you do and the work that you do each and every single day. So I really appreciate you. I'm looking forward to actually catching up with you face to face. Whenever that time comes around. So thank you very much, Norman Tufue and Mani Malaiuru, and you're tuning in to the Empowerment Training Show. Love everybody for watching so far.